Right, so thanks for watching another video. This is the Anytone 878 UV plus 2. This applies to 868, 878 and 578, and it's about key functions. A key function is a shortcut, and there's a few other things. So on this radio there's PF1, PF2, the two buttons below transmit, PF3 on the top, P1 and P2. And now if you press menu and settings, radio set, key functions in radio settings, that's where all the settings live for what the shortcuts do. So at the top is key lock. You know, it will automatically, when will it lock the keys? There's an option to, let's go in there, there's an option to do it manually, and there's an option to do it automatically. Going back, so each of the buttons I've just mentioned can be short and long press. There's 5 of them, so that gives you 10 places to add a preset, a shortcut to do something. And they're all, you know, the same list of available functions is available on all of those buttons. So let's just go into the top ones, it's easier. So you can make up to 6 hotkeys. A hotkey is like where I assign a talk group 4000 group call to PF1, so I can get in between a conversation and get my unlink in. But it doesn't have to be group call, it can be private call. You can use it for you could use it for your favorite talk groups. It doesn't need to be for unlink. But there's 6, you could use 6 of your choices for that if you wanted to. Another option is work alone, nuisance delete, digital monitor. That's where you might be on a repeater and you know there's activity on the other slot 1, slot 2. You might be on slot 1, you might see the light coming on but hearing no audio. That'll be because there's either interference, sometimes it lights the light up, but normally because there's a conversation going on slot 2. And if you put digital monitor on with everything set to any, you know, it will bring through everything. And you can also use it for scanning, for hearing traffic that has got a code or a tone, color code, or you know, you don't know the details, you just want to hear the traffic. It might be security or police, but that brings through everything. Incidentally, you can program those details into another radio which doesn't have DMR monitor. You could put it in your old MD380, and then the channels there was no way of you knowing those channels, but you can put them in a 380 because you'll know the color code and the slot and the talk group and things like that. Next one is priority zone, prior zone. I think that's priority zone. Could be prior as in previous, not sure. Program scan. So I guess, you know, you make a scan list, which is a list of channels. It's like in a zone, but it's in a receive list. It's a list of channels and you can scan that list of channels. Enhanced sound, I haven't found that does a great deal, but I remember one of them sounds louder than the other one. And one, you know, you just play with it and get a radio chat. I think from my experience, one of them was tinny and then one was a bit more bassy, but I couldn't really tell all that much difference. So use a parrot or get a radio chat. Last call reply, switch channel type. So that'll be the mode. So you can go from analog to digital. Range in. Roaming is when you've got a lot of repeaters nearby and your radio works out on your route, mobile out portable, it works out what next radio repeater to switch you to. CH ranging, maximum volume set, that's where you can set the maximum volume, so it will never be deafening. You know, you might be like me, I hate it really loud, you know, I don't like things too loud, and you can say maximum volume, I'll have volume 3, so it's not deafening. Slot set, it's hard to say that. It's quite self-explanatory. You know, you got slot 1, slot 2. If you press that, it'll alternate from slot 1 to slot 2. And you know, it'd be handy to have that set when you're in the VFO rather than going into all the menus. APRS type, that will be analog or digital. Zone select, so zone is like a folder of channels, and you can select a particular zone using that shortcut. Roaming set, I presume that means on and off. APRS set, same again, I should think that's on and off. Fix time mute, I don't know why anyone would want that, but perhaps you can fix a time when it will, you know, set a time that it will mute. I don't know why anyone would want that. Put it in the comments. You can have it for tones, whether it's a CTCS or a DCS. That looks like tone burst, TBST. So you can set a tone burst. BHT on and off. GPS on and off, save your batteries. Channel name, so that's handy. Rather than going in all the settings, you can change your channel name. CDT scan. APRS send, I should imagine that's the interval. Analog APRS info, that's, I would think that it could show the messages that you've received, or on mine in the radio, if you go to this, it shows you all the settings for analog APRS and you can alter them. GPS roaming, that'll be on and off, and that's it. But that's quite a handy list, isn't it? And look at that, look. I don't know why, but there's even more. There's even more. Perhaps I wasn't at the very top of the list. Okay, well you saw it in the video. It took me straight to this one, hotkey, but there are some above it, so we'll just look what they are. Blimey, there's loads of them. And it's very interesting, because you know, you can set it up nicely, so you can have the PF1 turned off so it won't do no shortcuts. Voltage, it will show the voltage, I should think. TX power, set the power. Talk around. Reverse, you know, like you can reverse a repeater, and it lets you listen on the output rather than, it lets you listen on the frequency where you transmit, listen on the input. Call, Vox, VFO to memory, that's what my P2 is always on by default. Sub, PTT, scan, FM radio, alarm. So it really is a record. It really is a comprehensive list. SMS, dial, GPS info, monitor, main channel. The main channel is the one that you're gonna, when you key up, it's gonna go to it. It's normally indicated by that it's been in large writing, and then they got the hotkey. So phew, that is a very interesting list, you know, to make your radio a lot more easier to use and quicker to get to functions. Okay, 7.3. That was a quick look at key functions. Cheers.